Good morning, Destiny players, and welcome to a new build video by yours truly, The Burger. Today, we double up on newly buffed exotics to make a really potent build for the nether, and those damned huskworm explosions. We got damage resist, we got explosives, we got stabbing, but most importantly, we got a video out within 3 weeks of another one. That's a hard thing to do nowadays. Thanks, Joe. I am Bladeburger, your local tap my forest for a black mana to cast counterspell kind of guy. As with all videos, make sure to do the goodies that the algorithm enjoys. Burger, love you a long time. Now, let's get the video. Let's begin by going right into the exotics for this build. The Triton Vice and the Edge of Concurrence. Both got buffed this episode and they're a lot better, by quite a lot. The Triton Vice exotic gauntlets for Hunter allow glaive melee damage and reload speed to be a lot higher when surrounded. Even when not surrounded by multiple enemies, it still lingers for 5 seconds, so you can squeak in that last bit of damage on the final chump. The exotic also overflows the magazine of a glaive on a melee kill. When you get a kill with a projectile, it explodes. The explosion is based on the glaive element, by the way. This exotic does a lot with glaives, which all got buffed this season, so let's talk the glaive of choice, the Edge of Concurrence, the formerly Hunter exclusive glaive. Any kills or hits with projectile or melee, not the Triton Vice explosion sadly, charges a bar, which you can special reload to load a chunky shot that deals a bunch of damage to multiple enemies, tracks to them along the ground, and jolts them if they survive. They won't though. This glaive also has a jolting feedback perk, which seems inconsistent when activated. Sometimes 1 hit does it, and sometimes 5 hits do nothing. Anyways, with the exotics discussed, you can see this build taking shape. You want your glaive to hit really hard. That is all. Let's pivot to class to see how we make the glaive hit harder. For class, we're on Arc Hunter. It's just the best for this build in my humble burger opinion. I do not vibe with Prismatic as much as others do. For abilities, use what you please. We use glaives here, we don't need abilities. For aspects, Ascension. Hit your air button to twirl honey twirl your staff, jolting anything underneath you and amplifying you and allies nearby. We also have Flow State, as Lethal Current doesn't work with glaive melees. Killing jolted enemies makes you amplified, and while amplified, you get better dodge recharge, damage resist, and faster reload speed. For aspects, Spark of Haste. While sprinting, you get damage resist, move a bit faster, and have slightly better health regen. Spark of Beacons. While amplified, your arc special weapon kills, so your glaive projectiles, blind nearby enemies. Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage increases melee damage. Spark of Resistance. Gain damage resist when surrounded. Works great with Triton Vice. Spark of Amplitude and Arc All-Star. Make an aura power on multi-kills while amplified. So there's the class. Now let's talk weapons and stats. For weapons, glaive. All you need. If you want other weapons like some rich person, just use what you please. This is a glaive build. Don't be shocked when glaive stuff doesn't work with weapons that aren't glaives. For stats, it's up to you. Resilience helps to not die, but you also have a shield, so do that probably. Now let's talk mods to show what makes this build shine brighter than Datto's big forehead. These mods are surge based, leveraging orb generation and temporary armor charges to deal a lot more damage. On Helmet, Special Ammo Finder and Scout increases drop chance of special ammo on kill and gives a bit to allies as a treat whenever this triggers. We also have Harmonic Siphon. Double kills with weapons whose element matches your super damage type makes an aura power. Doesn't trigger off the melee, by the way. On Arms, Double Harmonic Loader and a Harmonic Dexterity. Better reload and handling for arc weapons, more with 2 copies. On Chest Piece, Harmonic Reserves. More ammo carrying capacity for arc weapons. On Boots, Double Arc Weapon Surge, while we have a temporary armor charge, which lasts 10 seconds by default and is gained by picking up an aura power. Our arc weapons, so the glaive projectile, deal 17% increased damage. We also have Recuperation, which does work in the nether. Gain an itty bitty chunk of health when you pick up an orb. On class item, Double Time Dilation, extend your temporary armor charges from 10 seconds up to 17 seconds. We also have Reaper, allowing our next glaive projectile kill to make an aura power after using our class ability. So there's the mods, and here's the overview of them. Look it over, subscribe, and check out my Discord for the dim link. You know you want to. Join the Burger Cult. Now let's talk about how this build plays. This build actually surprised me, genuinely. Both glaives and Triton Vice have been doo-doo for a long time, so it's nice to see that they're good now. I really hope these exotics don't become used in PvP because I'm having a ton of fun with them. With the glaive shield, you have an easy way to block a lot of incoming damage. Like if your buddy kills a ton of husks, you can step in front and block all the retaliation worms and take no damage. You have really good damage resist, ability to dish out huge damage to chumps like their ass is grass and I'm a cow, and extreme survivability. This is a build to last. fast as it doesn't rely on artifact mods to do good work. I'd finally say the exotic glaives are in a great spot now, as this build shows the insane power of the edge of concurrence in this sandbox. If you try this build out, let me know in the comments. I do read all of them that YouTube notifies me of. Thank you all for coming and watching. Stay tuned for more. Blade Burger, out.